Hey folks, it's Keith Victor Echo 3 Sierra Victor Quebec and sometimes Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Echo India, usually in contests and sometimes in Pota. What I want to look at today is a question I get from a fair number of students because when I teach, and I do, full disclosure, teach for the Long Island CW Club, um, a lot of them will say, I can't find slow speed operators. And one of the places I always tell them to go and look is on the Pota page. Look it up, listen to people at different speeds, not just the speed that you're comfortable at. Listen a little bit faster and try and get used to the faster pace. Try and get used to recognizing the letters a little bit faster and so on. So a lot will come back and they'll say, we can't find anybody who's slow. So I thought today I would look at this and just give you a quick idea as to what you can look at, where to look, how to set your page up. So if you're a new operator and you're looking at the Pota app page through sort of a CW lens as opposed to a single sideband lens, some of this will make a bit more sense to you. So it's relatively easy, it's relatively straightforward, and let's give it a go. So if you're new, this might help you out a little bit. Now, when you bring up the POTA page, for those that don't know where it is, pota.app, it's going to come up in my computer looking like this. Yours may not, depending on how you set your page up. So there's what for me is a very easy way to do it, and there's a more complicated way. So if I go up to the top left to those three bars up here, right beside where it says Parks on the Air, and you click on that, it will bring up this side panel. If you scroll down all the way down, you'll see preferred table view, which is what I have right now. So if I turn that off, your screen will come up looking like this. And this is how, when I originally did Pota, my screen always looked like. And it was only after that I managed to find out there was another way to do it. So this is not bad. It's good because it gives you a lot of information on each individual call. But if you're scrolling looking for people to listen to, or if you're just on the air and you're looking for people to throw your call sign out to and try and make a contact and hunt a park, I find this particular screen too complicated. So if you go back up to those three bars up in the top left, come down here, set it for table view, just a little click. And now here we are. So if you look at the columns, what does it tell you? The far left, the number of minutes, how long ago they were on the air. You've got the person's call sign. You have the frequency they're on. And one of the beauties of doing it this way, the frequencies come in order. So 7.0455, 7.063, 14.40. So if you are scrolling across the band on your radio, this just makes so much sense. So you can see who's out there. You can follow along, listen, and the key thing for everything in Morse code, especially, listen to what you can hear. So if you look there, so you've got the frequency, you've got the call sign, the frequency, you have the park. This, for the first one there, US 1798. You have the state, so US West Virginia. You have the spotter, and then over here you will see RBN. I'm just doing a little above because the line below is a little bit too dark. So the line above the dark one, RBN 8 dB, 18 words per minute. So you know right away, 18 words per minute. Now, is that too fast for you? Maybe, maybe not. Depending on the operator or who's doing this. If you're brand new, you're probably going to prefer people considerably slower. Now, during the week, I find daytime during the week, there are a lot of very fast operators on Pota, a lot of fast activators. And I imagine these are people who probably maybe they've retired now, but they've got a lot of experience under their belt, Morse code experience. They tend to be fast, and I've seen people up to 45 words per minute. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to them. You should be trying to pick out the letters and the numbers that you know just for practice. Now scroll down the page and see who's there. Maybe there is someone that's going at a slower pace. So right now, we've got people at 18, so that seems to be one of the slower ones. 21, 20, 25, 22, right? Like I said, a lot of fast operators. Another 20, 19, so there's one slower. 19 and 17. So certainly the 17, there's nothing wrong with listening and trying to copy what they're doing. So the Pota exchange is a very simple exchange. Know it, you look it up, make yourself a cheat sheet, protocol, scroll sheet, whatever you want to call it. I just call it a basically a script, which is the term I use, and write it out. Write out what they're going to be saying, what you have to say, what would they say, and listen to what the people are saying. Listen to the call signs, interpret the call signs. Never assume because it says that WA3GM is on 1465 that the person you're hearing there is that particular station. Right? Stations do overlap. Not everybody out there is doing POTA. So if you hear someone on a frequency, sit there. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, listening to the call sign to make sure the person that you think you're hearing is actually that person. And remember, even if you don't hear anything, just dead air, listen a little bit. It might be that you're only hearing one side of the conversation, and that side you're not able to pick up. The operator may still be there, the activator may still be there, and as soon as the other one wraps up, you'll go back to calling CQ again. So always listen, never be in a rush, and again, never jump to conclusions. Make sure it's the operator you think it is that's doing the calling. And if it is a POTA station, make sure the operator is calling POTA. Because, like I say, you will have people on occasion who will double up. You will see, even in the case of POTA, you might see two operators, entirely different parts of the United States or Canada, sitting on the same frequency, but they can't hear each other. You can, and it's up to you to figure out which one is there. So it's an easy way to do this. You can see it's changing as we talk. So there's an 18 words per minute has just come up. So now we've got 19, 18, 17. So there's some slower operators right off the bat. You will see, if you were on here, for instance, 5, 10 minutes ago, they were operators on at 12 and 14 words per minute. So it doesn't mean every time you log in, you're going to find slower operators. Pick your time of day. I find you get more slower operators coming in sometime around what would be roughly 3:30 to 4 o'clock Eastern time here in Canada. And you start to see some of the slower operators come in. So it's just a matter of playing with it, finding the times that work wherever you live. It's going to be different time zones. You'll find it operators, the slower operators come in different time zones, different times. You will also find on the weekend a lot of slower operators are out there. There's a lot at 14, 15 words per minute. I've seen some last weekend. I think there was one at 10. Certainly there were a number at 12 words per minute. So it's up to you to do your homework, figure out where these folks are, and then try and copy them. Learn the POTA script or protocol. Learn what you're supposed to send. Learn what they are going to send back. Know how to send your call sign. Practice your call sign over and over and over and over again until you can do it in your sleep. And record it. All of our smartphones have a voice memo section. Record your call sign. Let me get out of this. Now, just for those who do want to actually write a script or protocol and set it up, here's an example of the one I use and how I've set it up. It's simply on a dollar store stand. It's right beside my computer, which is beside my radio. So it's really easy. When I'm sending, all I have to do, or if I'm following or copying someone, just glance over and the other operator may not be using the exact same script, but I've got an idea as to what they're sending. When it's my turn to send, I've got it all there. And at this point, I rarely ever look at it, but it's there as a bit of a safety net. So something to think about if you're actually moving that one extra step and going to hunt, hunt POTA stations. So that's it for now. I hope that helps some of the newer operators who are trying to figure out how to hunt or find parks on the air in Morse code. That might make it a little bit simpler for you. So if you like this video, please comment down below, like, share, and so on. Subscribe's always appreciated as well. We always find YouTube likes that type of thing. In the meantime, it's Keith, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor Quebec, otherwise known as the Shaky Key. Wishing you all a great day. 73.